Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. Episode number 2. If you're watching this on video, I still don't have a trim, but BJ's back in the building, ready for another one. How you doing today, sir?
Another one, and another one, and another one.
You know the vibes. Shouts to DJ Garland in the building. Listen, crazy night of action around the NBA. Jerami Grant, 4th straight 30-point game. Trae Young, 56 points. Listen, even Desmond Bain dropped 29. Like, there's so much talent in the league right now that All-Star weekend this year, not this weekend. What am I talking about?
You already at All-Star weekend. You already at All-Star weekend.
Listen, All-Star weekend this year, I think, has the potential to be one of the best in recent years because the talent in the league is at an all-time high. There's going to be so many guys that feel like they should be on the All-Star team that get left off. And that's a hard thing for them, but it's a great thing for the fans and a great thing for the league. So what we're going to do today is we're going to break down for you our Eastern Conference All-Stars, because if you didn't know, voting is now open. It's in your hands. We're going to be picking our picks. Then you're going to be picking your picks. You can vote. There's numerous ways to vote for your NBA All-Stars. But here's what you need to know. There are certain days where your votes count for more. The 7th of January, the 13th, the 17th, the 20th, and the 25th. You'll be able to get 2 for 1 on your votes. That means every vote you cast counts for double. So if you want to see your favorite player, if I want to see Marcus Smart in the All-Star game, that means on those days, my votes count for double. And if you want to know an update on how things are going on January the 6th, 13th, and 20th, respectively, you'll get a sneak preview of fan voting results. Now, if you want to vote for your All-Stars, check out the link that I tweeted out where you can hit it. And if you tweet me your All-Star team, I'll let you know what I think. But without further ado, Mr. BJ Armstrong, are you ready to tell me, or you might end up debating with me, your hashtag NBA All-Star picks for 2022?
Yep.
Yay.
Let's get it. Mo, let's get it.
So we'll rock with the Eastern Conference today. Tomorrow we'll do the West. And I think if we're starting in the Eastern Conference, I think there are certain players that are a lock. Okay. There are certain players that are a lock to be in this. But I'm interested to hear your starting 5, and then we'll compare it to mine and see how different they are. So who's your starting 5 for the Eastern Conference?
My starting 5 is as follows. At the point guard position, Hey Young World, a.k.a. Trae Young at that point guard position. At the 2, right out of the shot, the marvelous
Compton's finest.
At the 3, your favorite center's favorite center, but he's really a small forward, is KD, the easy sniper. At the 4, can you say G-Unit? It's Giannis.
I love
that. And at the 5, it's my favorite, your favorite, Joel, trust the process, Embiid. That's my 5.
I like that. And that's very similar to mine. I think for the Eastern Conference, some of these picks are no-brainers. So do you want to know my 5? Should I hit you with it?
Let me see. Hit me, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, your Eastern Conference All-Stars. Starting at guard, Demar Derozan.
Okay.
Starting at the other guard, also from Chi-Town, Zach LaVine.
Oh.
At the small forward, KD. At the other forward, Giannis Antetokounmpo. And at the center position, trust the process, Joel Embiid. That's my 5.
Oh.
So I think we got to have a conversation about the guard play that's going on in this league right now, because Trae Young is hot. 56 last night, getting it done. He's been hot. There's no doubt about it. He's been getting buckets all over the NBA. He's currently second in the league in scoring with 28.4 points per night. However, my issue with this is the Atlanta Hawks are not winning basketball games. That is my issue. Trae Young as a star, because he dropped 56, no doubt, but that was 56 in an L. And you know how I feel about big performances coming in losses. I don't need to explain that again for you.
No, you don't. You know, I can't be mad at this name when our good friend Mark Jackson coined them the Splash Brothers. One of my good friends in the Shy called me and said, they got the Splash Brothers. We got the Slash Brothers.
I like that.
Now,
I like that.
Yeah, Mo, it's yours now. It's yours, Mo, since you put him as your starting backcourt.
Yes.
The Slash Brothers. I can't be mad at it.
Listen.
I can't be mad at it. However, the people demand to see Trae.
Oh, no doubt he can come off the bench. That ain't the problem.
Trae. Atlanta has to have someone to represent them in the All-Star game. And that someone is Trae Young World. That's Young World.
It's funny you mentioned.
You gotta have him. He's an entertainer.
Oh, no doubt about it. But here's the thing: when we talk about Atlanta, I think for me, with all due respect, in the words of the great Mark Jackson, with all due respect, one of the worst All-Star teams for me was the year where the Hawks were on a crazy win streak in the East. So they put four Hawks players? Where they made Jeff Teague the All-Star? When it was Al Horford,
Who was in the All-Star game? Who did you say, Mo?
Teague. Yeah. So that year, when they had Jeff Teague in the All-Star game and all of those players, the reason why they were all in the All-Star game was because they rewarded winning. So I think with the Chicago Bulls sitting at the top of the Eastern Conference, bearing in mind, nobody at all, even the most delusional Chicago Bulls fans, had the Bulls at the top of the Eastern Conference at this point in the season. Nobody. Now, some people, some quote unquote experts, didn't even have the Bulls finishing in the playoff spots. I remember seeing #experts sitting up on a certain American sports network saying the Bulls are going to finish 10th. They might not even make the play-in. So the fact that they are number one, and as you said on yesterday's show, they've struggled. You know, they've had their own issues with health and safety protocols. In fact, they were the first team to really have a huge impact this season with the health and safety protocols. They've had every player miss time this season, and yet somehow they're above Brooklyn, above Milwaukee, above Miami, and they're getting it done. So I think it's only fair that the winning is rewarded by putting both of those players, because it's very hard to separate them. I know Demar's getting the glory because he hit those 2 game winners, but Zach LaVine is right up there. They're both hitting just about 26 points per game. They're both getting it done, and they've been playing great basketball together, even though no one said they would fit together. I think they both deserve to be in the starting lineup for the All-Star game.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at you for making that argument. But I don't want you to discount or discredit what Trae Young did starting last year. Trae Young body of work deserves to be in the All-Star game. Normally,
last year's All-Star game to this year's, is that what you're saying?
Well, no, Mo. Normally, I am with you, but I like to say I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. But right now, we are in a pandemic, and we have to view this from a different perspective. It's about body of work. Trae Young's body of work speaks for itself, and he deserves to be a starter now in the NBA. He deserves. Now, Zach LaVine, without question, deserves to be a two-time All-Star. It'd be different if he wasn't an All-Star. He is going to be an All-Star this year, Zach LaVine. He's going to be an All-Star. Last year, he makes the All-Star game. This year, he deserves to be there. Now, the Marvelous, however, has been carrying a load there in Chicago. Make no doubt about it. It wasn't just about them two shots. Now, those were two incredible back-to-back game winners. But Mr. DeRozan has been carrying a load, along with Zach LaVine. So the chemistry works. They have a new name, the Slash Brothers. We got to get the Slash Brothers versus the Splash Brothers.
And
let's get it on.
Clay's coming back
Let's
tomorrow.
get it on.
I heard Clay's coming back tomorrow.
Hey, let's get it on, because Mo, I'm with you when you're right.
Hey, listen. All I'm saying is I like winning. If the Hawks were at least 500 or above, I would also.
We're not even having the
trade.
We're not even having
I'll
this
be voting for
conversation.
trade. That'd be one of the first names down. But the fact of the matter is, they're 12th in the Eastern Conference.
Facts.
So that's my takes. Now the rest of the players that we selected, Demar Derozan, consensus pick. I think he deserves it for everything he's been doing. Career season, we talked about it yesterday. He's in the MVP running. And then the other three guys on the Eastern Conference, maybe not Embiid, but I think Embiid's recent run of form has been spectacular. But Kevin Durant, no doubt about it. I don't think there's anyone that could, in their right mind, leave Kevin Durant off their All-Star ballot. And the same goes for Giannis Antetokounmpo. And then Joel Embiid at the 5, when he's healthy, the most dominant big man in the league. But who would you have coming off the bench? Give me some names, because when I was thinking about that center position, I was thinking there's a center in the Eastern Conference that I need to see that maybe fans don't need to see. Maybe fans don't want to see because his style of play is not that flash or exciting. But the way he's played this season is deserving of an All-Star shout. And I think that name is Jarrett Allen from the Cleveland Cavaliers. I think he deserves a spot on that Eastern Conference bench. What are some other names of players that you'd like to see on the bench in the Eastern Conference?
Well, Zach LaVine, without question. You know who else I would like to see? Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
On that list.
And it's
here's a name I would like to see just because of it's an all-star game. Lamello Ball.
Now we're talking. Lamello Ball definitely deserves a spot. Trae Young for me would be on my bench. Bradley Beal. And of course the bearded one, James Harden. Let's not forget. James Harden.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. You know, I think we have to take. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. I think I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at James.
If he didn't get off to such a slow start, he could maybe be in the conversation for a starting spot. But he's a good run of form and he started recently. Jimmy Butler, maybe with some considerations, come off the bench. What
about your man? Let's turn our vision to the green.
Okay.
What we gonna do with Jaylen Brown?
I'm gonna tell you something.
What we gonna do with Jason Tatum?
I'm gonna tell you something right now. I don't want to see any Celtics players in the All-Star game.
Oh, I just saw a 50-piece chicken McNugget meal last night with some hot barbecue sauce on it, and a W.
I'm saying it selfishly because I want my guys to rest and get ready for the rest of the season. But if we're talking about excitement, if we're talking about scoring the basketball, then Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum both need to be on that all-star team again. That's what we're talking. But selfishly, as a Celtics fan, I want them to be at home resting. But as an overall NBA fan, both of those guys need to be there. Both of those guys need to be there. Because
Hey,
at the
Mo,
end of the day,
there's another young name I want to throw out here. You
Okay.
ready for this? You ready for this, Mo? Okay, I'm going to clear the airwaves right now. Complete silence. He had 36, 14 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal last night in 41 minutes. Kyle Kuzma.
no. That's gonna be a no for me. That's
Kyle
gonna be a no
Kuzma.
from me. If we're talking about players coming from the Washington Wizards that aren't Bradley Beal, I think Montrezl Harrell is more deserving of a spot than Kyle Kuzma, because no matter how good his performance was last night, he's averaging 14 points a game in the regular season. 14, 1-4. He's not an all-star. He's not an all-star. I think Montrezl Harrell would be more suited for an all-star selection.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that selection either. I'm not mad at that. But hey, there's one name that has to be on there. I got to give a shout out to right now.
Go on.
My man up there north of the border. We the North. Fred VanVleet. Fred VanVleet deserves to be an all-star this year.
Definitely.
Now,
See what I'm saying?
Fred has been very, very consistent. His body of work. Now he's taking over the reins full time with Kyle Lowry departing down there to
and
Miami.
leading the young cats as well. There's a lot of young players there.
Fred VanVleet, the people, that's the people's choice.
Bet on yourself.
Deserves to be in the All-Star game, all jokes aside.
Yeah. It's bet on yourself. That's his slogan. And he always does. And it seems to always pay off now. So the Eastern Conference, I think, for once, they've got rid of the conference. You know, they're going to have the 2 captains who pick their teams now. But I would really like to see East versus West again, because I think the Eastern Conference is very strong this year, especially with KD and Giannis on the same squad. Now, imagine if you put your pick of Trae Young in there with Giannis Antetokounmpo on his team, how great he looks with John Collins and Clint Capella. Now, imagine Giannis and Embiid. With all due respect to John Collins and Clint Capella, Giannis and Embiid would take that to a whole new level. We'll take it to a whole new level. Now let's get one thing out of all the players that we haven't mentioned.
Right.
Who's going to be up next year? Who do you see looking at the All-Star game this year? Saying, okay, cool. Next year I'm gonna be there too.
Evan Mobley.
In year 2? He's getting in year 2.
I wouldn't be mad if he made it in year 1, Mo. I want to see this young man because, Mo, you know I'm an Evan Mobley man. I'm an Evan Mobley fan. Excuse me. That's my man. And Mo, I'm tuned in to all Cavaliers games. I got the direct connect.
You see Miles Turner, one of the best shot blockers. In fact, in the past year, no player blocked more shots. In the year 2021, no player blocked more shots than Miles Turner did. Not Giannis, not Rudy Gobert, not Draymond Green, not Clint Capella. No one blocked more shots than Miles Turner did. And then Evan Mobley pulls up to the arena and dunks on him, not once, but twice in the same night. Both of them posters. So I'm not mad at it. I respect it. I can see that happening as well. I also think a player that's deserving of some all-star love is Darius Garland, also from the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I'm not mad at that.
Like an all-star too.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at Scotty Barnes. I'm not mad. We're talking about next year. I'm not mad at Kyle Kuzma if he continues to progress.
I want to see OG.
I'm not mad at that.
Year. I want to see OG. I want to see OG next year. I think he can make a leap. I say it every year because that's my guy coming out of London.
Oh, yeah. If
home court
LaMelo
vibe.
doesn't make it this year, I definitely want to see him.
No,
in the
LaMelo
following year.
LaMelo Ball has to be in the All-Star team this year. There's no if, but, maybe. LaMelo Ball has to be in the All-Star game this year. I'm not accepting anything else. Do you know who's playing really nice basketball right now that will never get the love because he's on a terrible team? Have you been watching Sadiq Bey recently? Coming out of Detroit. Your Detroit Pistons.
Hey, Sadiq Bey and the Detroit Pistons tonight had a beautiful win.
Bro.
They beat the Milwaukee Bucks.
34 and 8
now,
and 4.
Back-to-back 30-point games for him. Back-to-back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and quietly, Cade Cunningham is putting together after a slow start, a real slow start. You know, he had an ankle injury, but he's putting together a really nice rookie campaign.
Yes, sir.
Very solid tonight. He had 19 or 20 points or so. Really solid, playing very well. And that was a big time win for them
those 7
in
assists,
Milwaukee.
Those 7 assists were big.
Yeah, no, he played. He's been playing really, really. You know, he's beginning to put it together. You know, he's putting 4 or 5 games together. And now I think in the second half of the season, I would really like for my Detroit Pistons to put him as I would like for them to start him as the leading point guard. I think he's ready now.
So no Killian Hayes.
Well, I whether he starts or not, I want the ball in his hands.
I feel you.
However they want to play it at the 2, but I want to put the ball in his hand full time because I think he plays better as a lead guard when he has the ball.
I'm gonna end this on this. The episode's almost running out of time, but speaking of Detroit, you guys have still got Jerami Grant, who's still out with a thumb injury. He's going to be back just before the trade deadline. And the Detroit Pistons have no need for him. He's going to be moved. The question is to who the Lakers are interested. Do you know who I want to see make a move for Jerami Grant? Now, I haven't thought about the salaries and how that would work, but I want the Chicago Bulls to make a move for Jerami Grant. Now, I love Patrick Williams, and he's going to be a great...
Where's he going to play at?
Patrick Williams is going to be a great player in the future, okay? But you bring Jerami Grant into this Bulls team, you can play him at the 4, okay? And now, all of a sudden, you've got a guy that can guard those wing players that you're going to come up against. You got a guy that you're going to try and stick on the Kevin Durant's of the world, on the Jason Tatum's of the world. Gives you that defensively, offensively. You've seen him play many roles. In Detroit, he's been that number 1 guy. In Denver, he was just kind of a complimentary piece. He can really do it all. So I want to see the Bulls move for Jerami Grant. That's my trade deadline, what I want to see. Because if you're going to go all in now, let's go all in. Because that gives them a whole nother angle, a whole new look of, oh God, okay, these guys defensively now, really good. Because they've got elite defensive guards. But when you look at those wing positions, who's getting the stops there? Who's the great defender at the wing position right now? Who you throw it on the other players, the other team's best player? The same way Milwaukee pulled off that midseason trade for PJ Tucker last year and put PJ Tucker on Kevin Durant when they faced off. That's what I want to see from Chicago Bulls.
You know, I'm really fond of Jerami Grant. And what he did last year, he took a big leap. And I was very surprised about that signing. I didn't anticipate him signing in Detroit, but give him credit for taking that leap to Detroit. And not only taking that leap, he really showed up and showed out.
Mm-hmm.
He had a really nice year. Individually, I mean, the Pistons didn't do well as a team, but individually, he really put up big numbers. Now, Jerami Grant is what we would consider in this league a good player on a good team. He plays a winning style of basketball. And we give so much emphasis on shows and podcasts and when we talk about the NBA about the offensive thing, but what he does really well is he defends. And he's a very versatile defender. I mean, he can really defend 1 through 4 at a very high level. He's long, he's athletic, very lively body. He's active, his activity level. I would like to see him go to a place like Atlanta.
I mean, they got John Collins though, the 4.
Yeah, but John Collins and Jerami Grant. That's live action.
Yeah, but
that's what I would call it.
You got Clint Capella in the front court. I don't know how the minutes are going to get round, but I'm seeing if you trade Patrick Williams and Derrick Jones Jr. to the Chicago Bulls, because Pat Williams is out, he's not going to help you this year. Pat Williams is out. Derrick Jones Jr. has been a little bit disappointing, and they brought him there to be that defensive guy. You trade them both for Jerami Grant. The Pistons get their young player in Pat Williams, who can develop really nicely next to Cade and Sadiq Bey and all of these guys. And the Bulls, then you look at a lineup of Lonzo Ball, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Jerami Grant, and Nikola Vucevic, with Caruso and these guys coming off the bench. I think that brings a whole nother edge to the Bulls.
Well, Mo, I'm just here to remind you of your slogan, secure the bag. There's not enough bags there to get all those players.
I've just run the salary. It works perfectly.
Jerami Grant is going to demand a deal.
He's got 2 years left.
Yeah, but you're not going to have a player and trade for a player and lose a good young player who's on a rookie scale deal.
Yes.
You're not going to grab a player and then say, thank you, and let him walk.
Well, if it ends up in a championship, you will. Would you really let the threat of losing Pat Williams stop you from potentially winning a championship this year? You're looking like the best team in the Eastern Conference.
I don't believe that this team here, when they put this group together, thought that they were the best team in the Eastern Conference. They are the best team right now, but I don't think, Mo, that you believe they are the best team in the Eastern Conference. They have the best record. I don't
believe they're the best team in the Eastern Conference, but I believe if you add Jerami Grant to their lineup, they become a whole lot scarier looking at the playoffs.
Zach LaVine is going to demand the big bag.
Yes.
Okay. You already have Lamello. Lonzo. You already have Lonzo. Just signed. You have DeMar just signed. You have AC just signed. Vooch, he's got to be coming up when?
Vooch has got this year and next year.
Okay. So you don't want to let him go to unrestricted free agency. So you're probably going to, after this nice year, you're going to want to look to extend him. There's not enough bags there. Patrick Williams' salary is on a rookie scale deal. That's a good deal. It's a good deal for the Bulls, and it works. I think Jerami Grant, best deal is to go to a team where he can provide what he does best. The scoring was an added bonus. I thought it was an added bonus. Now, the Atlanta Hawks are going to trade Cam Reddish?
Maybe.
No, it's not maybe. They're going to trade him. They're going to get rid of Danilo Gallinari.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday.
Yes, they have to. So why wouldn't you, if you're the Pistons, which would work in your timeline, is to add players who can play in a rotation? If you had Cam Reddish and Cade Cunningham as your starting guards, that's a pretty good start. Yeah. Danilo Gallinari, Kelly Olynyk, Sadiq Bey, Isaiah Stewart. Now you're putting together players who can play in a rotation, in any rotation. Now, obviously, you need one of those players. They're probably going to, they're going to have a high draft pick this year. You need one of those players to step up and be a star player, a la Evan Mobley. But if you're able to get 2 or 3 players for Jerami Grant, I think what more can you ask? But and the reason I say that is because look what it did to to the Washington Wizards this year. You have to get serviceable players. They get, for Russell Westbrook, they get Kyle Kuzma, Caldwell Pope, and what's the center? What's his name?
Trez.
Talked about him.
Montrezl Harrell.
Montrezl Harrell. You have to get 2 or 3 players, because as you're continuing your path on rebuilding, which clearly the Pistons are doing, you want to add quality veterans who's going to allow you to continue on your path of winning and being competitive. So I think that would probably serve them best if they're going to move Jerami Grant.
Okay, well, you guys listening to this show, let us know. Tweet us. Where do you want to see Jerami Grant? Chicago, Atlanta? Have you got any ideas? Tweet us your trade suggestions for Jerami Grant. As always, hit us with your questions. We'll be answering them later this week. We'll be back tomorrow where we discuss the Western Conference All-Stars. Ooh, that's going to be an exciting one.
Mo, can I just say one thing before we get out of here?
Mm-hmm.
Ja Morant. Let's start there tomorrow.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you bright and early tomorrow morning. Appreciate you rocking with us. Make sure you follow, subscribe. I just found out you can leave ratings on the Spotify app too. So leave 5 stars on Spotify, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. Share it with your friends. You know the vibes. And until tomorrow, get buckets.